in an encounter which could decide the fate of two teams in the title race. We are back here at the Duler Stadium, and this is me, Shatadru Dutt, presenting match number 52 in the Selvel Goa Professional League between heavyweights FC Goa and Sporting Clube de Goa. On to the Gores. FC Goa warming up for this crucial encounter today against Sporting Clube de Goa. They will be looking to get back to winning ways after Churchill holding them to a 1-1 draw in their last match. They had many chances against 10 men Churchill brothers to win the game, but failing to do so, and Dylan De Silva conceding that goal just before half-time against Avdal. However, today is a crucial match for them to get back to winning ways and keep their faint title hopes alive. On to the starting 11 for FC Goa. It is Ralte. Bryson Fernandez makes it, and he's the captain. The under-20 player Brian Faria also makes a comeback into the first 11. Kapil Hoble, Christy Davis, Sereno Fernandez, Joybert Almeida, Dylan De Silva, Wasim Inamdar, Ivan Costa and Leslie Rebello still retaining his position and coached by Degi Cardozo. On to the Flaming Orange, and this is Ozan Silva warming up today. He has a big job under the bar today for Sporting Clube de Goa, because the Gores will come at him and he will be tested today. And from what I know, Alton Vaz is missing from the starting 11 because of a suspension, 2 yellow cards, giving away that penalty in the last match against Selgaukar, which resulted in a 1-1 draw. And this is the first 11 for Sporting Clube de Goa, with Ozan Silva, Clive Miranda coming in place of Alton Vaz, Myron Fernandez, Kunal Kundaikar, Marcus Mascarenas, Joel Colasso, Gautam Dias the captain today, Philippa Dogvu, Rohit Dotad, Girish Naik and Dattaraj Kaukar, coached by Francisco Vaz. On to the points table, and you can see the importance of this match from the table. 7th match for Sporting Clube de Goa on 14 points, and FC Goa on 13 points from 7 matches. This is it for both the teams. As the referees walk in with the teams, FC Goa in orange and Sporting Clube de Goa, the away team for today, wearing the white instead of their flaming orange jerseys. This should be a blockbuster encounter on a Thursday afternoon between FC Goa and Sporting Clube de Goa. Two of the biggest names in Goan football are ready to go head to head today in the Selvel Goa Professional League in what could be a major title decider. Selgaukar Football Club along with Tempo and Vasco will be looking on with a lot of interest, as the referees for today: David Rebello, Melvin Rosario de Costa, Keshav Vasudev Kaskar and 4th official Purushottam Nanda Mapari. The referees just doing their final checks before the war on the battlefield between FC Goa and Sporting Club. A big clash which could decide the fate, not mathematically, but a more or less idea of who's gonna go way ahead in the title race, because if FC Goa can hold Sporting Clube de Goa today or win against them, Selvel Football Club are clear favourites in the title race, as they would have just dropped 4 points in the league so far, and Sporting, if they lose today, they will be losing out on 7 points, and Selvel have a superior goal difference against that of Sporting Selvel, as we see Coach Tegi Cardozo opening his tactic book, in which he would be hoping that Sporting will be stopped from getting back to winning ways. And Francisco Savio Vaz was a disappointed man in the last game, his team not quite getting over the line against Selvel Football Club and getting 2 back-to-back draws against lowly Sessa Football Academy in what was a hugely disappointing result for Savio Vaz. Maron Fernandez, quite unfortunately the man scoring that own goal against Sessa Football Academy in the very last minute. Austin Silva has been good under the bar, but he couldn't prevent that own goal. Neither could he prevent Saish Madan from scoring from the spot for Selvel to get Selvel back in the game after Marcus Mascarenas had put Sporting up on the 5-minute mark, as the referee has blown his whistle for the start of this game, and Sporting straight away looking to attack FC Goa. But Dylan De Silva collects it in his box. It will be a test today for Sporting's defense in the absence of Alton Vaz, who is missing because of 2 yellow cards. But the likes of Clive Miranda and Kunal Kundaikar will be looking to cover up for the very, very brainy and the captain Alton Vaz. This is Bryson. Bryson plays it forward, and this is Christy Davis in space. This is FC Goa coming into attack, and Sereno yet again in the box, getting on the end of that header but not finding the target. But we know Sereno's ability to go on overlapping runs and score those crucial goals, but on this occasion cannot keep it on target. Brian Faria coming back into the team today, and so is this man Bryson Dubin Fernandez, who is leading the team today. Lalvem Ruata on the bench today for FC Goa, and so is Lalmangai Sanga, better known as Papuya, for FC Goa, both of whom have started almost all the matches for FC Goa. On the bench today, with Degi Cardozo choosing Leslie Pereira and Bryson Dubin Fernandez ahead of those two, with Brian Faria also coming into the team today. It's a new centre-back pairing today from the last match against Churchill Brothers, in which we saw Papuya and Leslie pair up and did a good job, but was troubled by Avdal Varikodan, whose physical presence did bother Papuya and Leslie Pereira, and the high pressing from Churchill Brothers led to that goal in the first half, which FC Goa conceded off that mistake from Lalvem Ruata. But they come up against a very, very high quality organized Sporting Club de Goa team, and it will be a real test for the Gores today, as Marcus Mascarenhas has been powered off the ball by Sereno. But this is Rohit Totad. Gautam Dice. Marcus cannot take it in a stride, but this is Joybert down the left hand side up against Clive, and Clive ends up fouling Joybert, who skipped past the first challenge from Clive Miranda. But today is really an intriguing battle to watch, because it is a very young FC Goa team, and Sporting Club de Goa is a very good mixture of youth and experience, and we've seen the quality and organization from the Flaming Orange. Today will be a real test for this young FC Goa team, but they have started on the positive note. Sereno's ball in from the free kick, but well defended. This is FC Goa with Kapil Hoble to throw in, but leaving it for Ralte. This is Joybert. Ralte. Kapil Hoble. Kapil playing it back to Brian Faria. Leslie. Back to Brian. Brian being closed down by Philippa Dogvu. It will be an interesting battle between the returning Brian Faria against Philippa Dogvu and Leslie versus Marcus Mascarenhas. But I've got to mention this: Leslie Pereira has been absolutely brilliant from the time he's come on in place of Brian Faria at the center of the defense, and he's really led this FC Goa team right from the back. But Degi Cardozo will be happy that his midfield general and the captain Bryson Dubin Fernandez is coming back into the team. There's that man Myron Fernandez, who's so influential during the set pieces. He puts it out for a throw-in, but it was his own goal which left him in tears at the end of the game against Sessa Football Academy. They know those were two crucial points lost against the lowly Sessa Football Academy, as Philippa Dogwu chases back, but brilliantly done by Bryson. Absolutely fantastic from Bryson Fernandez, as Leslie hooks it back. Sereno. Marcus has stripped him off the ball. Good anticipation from the forward. This is Myron Fernandez. The cross comes in, but easily dealt with by FC Goa. This is Ralte. This game could really come down to who makes the least number of mistakes in this game today. And we've seen mistakes from FC Goa. It's all about not repeating them for these young boys. And Degi Cardozo, they will be looking to go toe to toe with the defending champions, the 2018-19 champions FC Goa, against the 2019-2020 champions Sporting Club de Goa, going head to head. This is Bryson up against Tattaraj. This is Ralte now playing it back to Brian. Played back to Leslie's ball forward from Ivan Costa, but not the greatest of balls, and almost threaded through for Rohit Totad on the left hand side, but good interception. This is Sereno Fernandez. This is a good ball forward, but Kunal Kundaikar calmly racing past Joybert. passing it back to Ozan Silva, and the long clearance has fallen back into FC Goa possession. This is early possession from FC Goa. The young boys moving very, very nicely. This is Rohit Totad, and Dattaraj is fouled there by Wasim Inamdar. Brought down there quite clearly. He has a big job on his hands today. He doesn't have his usual partner in the heart of defense, Kunal Kundaiker, but he's quite capable of covering it up with Clive Miranda, who is the natural replacement in that centre back area. We saw that pairing of Alton Vaz and Clive Miranda, and Kunal Kundaiker was injured, but Clive doing a very good job in that game. Got a very early yellow card in that game, Clive Miranda, but had a very decent game and instilled faith that he can fill in big shoes, as Dylan De Silva is begging for movement from his players as he takes the long goal kick. Flicked on, but not quite finding the preferred destination, Kapil Hoble, but Christy Davis winning the foul from Joel Colasso, slightly high over there from Joel. Brian to take this free kick. Brian's ball in, and a towering header from Clive Miranda, and the volley which came in from Bryson, not getting the required power behind that Bryson, but we have seen that he is capable of pulling off some masterful drives towards goal. Bryson Dubin Fernandez, we've seen him rattle the post quite a few times with his long rangers, especially ones which are hit first time on the volley, and this time on his slightly weaker left foot, as Clive races to head that ball out for a throw-in. This is Sarino, throws it to Wasim Inamdar. Joybert, Leslie puts it forward, but straight to Ozan Silva, looking for the run of Kapil Hoble, who was always on the lookout to get in behind the defenses of the opponent, as Maran Fernandez wins the free kick. A handball by Wasim Inamdar. This is Maran Fernandez. Maran just looking for options. This is Clive Miranda. Myron Fernandez. What a ball in from Myron. That was calling in towards Philippa Dogbu. But we haven't seen much in this match so far from Sporting Clube de Goa. And it will be interesting to see, because both teams like to play out from the back, FC Goa and Sporting Clube de Goa, but it is FC Goa who are doing a very good job at the moment. Wasim Inamdar's ball in, and Kapil Hoble trying to get in behind that yet again. We'd see this again as the tackle comes in from Clive Miranda. Wasim curls it in, and Ozan does well in the end. just impeded by Kapil Hoble. But getting back to FC Goa, they've had a very good start to this game. They've kept Sporting Clube de Goa not just at bay, but they are the ones who are making the moves forward, as the referee doesn't blow the whistle for a foul. This is Kunal. Ozin. Clive Miranda. Marcus Mascarenhas falling back to get into the game. He's not had many touches, but we know how Sporting Clube de Goa can be dangerous, as Leslie Pereira heads that ball out before Gautam Dice could get to it. This is Myron Fernandez. Myron's going to launch this ball forward. Myron's throw in. It bounces dangerously in the box. Philippa Dogbo and Dattaraj with the chance. And Dylan was bothered for a moment over there as the flick came in from Philippa Dogbo. It's always dangerous when the ball comes in and it bounces in the rival box, like the way it was for FC Goa, but Ralte just doing enough to deter Dattaraj Gaonkar from getting a clear attempt on goal. As we see Dattaraj on the ground, a high foot from Ralte giving the foul away. Sporting will look to control proceedings somewhat here. They have been on the back foot for majority of the opening 15 minutes of this game. But this is Kunal's ball into the box. Dylan coming out, the ball again dwindling around in that penalty box. Myron cannot get it under control. He does on the second attempt. Puts it forward. Marcus Mascarenhas has gone up with Brian Faria, but Marcus has gone to the ground, clutching his face. But we'll see if there was any contact there between Brian Faria and Marcus Mascarenhas. His movement is essential for the Sporting Clube de Goa team. I think the trailing leg of Brian Faria got Marcus Mascarenhas there, but nothing intentional from Brian Faria. Both players going up for the header, with the trailing leg, the boots just scraping Marcus's nose over there on that occasion. As we see crowd in a limited number at the Duler Stadium. What a good sight to see, finally some spectators at least enjoying the football games. Myron takes it back. This is Clive. Kunal tries to hook it up, but not quite finding the required teammate. But this is another throw-in from Sporting Clube de Goa. Sporting trying to slowly play their way out of trouble. This is Kunal Kundaikar. Clive Miranda. Clive's ball forward. This is Marcus. Keeps it in. This is Dattaraj. Does ever so well in that occasion. Girish Naik shifts it to Rohit. We've not seen much of him, but there is the overlapping run from Joel Colasso. The cross comes in, and the first corner of the match. It goes Sporting Club de Goa's way. Slowly but surely coming back into the match in the opening 15 minutes have been FC Goa's. The next 4 minutes have definitely belonged to Sporting Club de Goa, as this is a beautiful ball played in from the corner, but luckily for FC Goa, no one ends up getting on the end of it. This is Maron Fernandez, who will launch this into the box once again for Sporting Club de Goa. And the flick on, and it's a dangerous one, and Dylan De Silva finally gets hold of it, but again a beautifully worked out throw in. Myron launching the ball into the box, Philip Dogwu flicking it, just not getting on the end of it. But Wasim Namdar being pressed by Sporting Club de Goa makes the miss pass, and we have seen this before, that FC Goa, these young boys from FC Goa, if they are pressed, they can make those mistakes. They have the habit of playing from the back. This is a learning phase from them, but you've got to give credit to Degi Cardozo for not bogging down from playing the possession-based football that has been influenced on these young boys as Dubin Fernandez. Bryson, if you noticed how beautifully and calmly he gets out of trouble and wins the foul on top of his own penalty box. Absolutely sensational to watch from Bryson. Very few players will have the quality and the composure to hold two players on his shoulder and turn around in his own penalty box and get away from trouble. But Bryson, the young talent that he is, can be one of those players who can do that, as we just saw that, as Kunal Kundaiker just taking his own sweet time. In the end, the pressure from Kapil Hoble telling, and he has to clear that out, as this is Ivan, this is Joybert, doesn't win the penalty. Joybert, this is Christie. Sereno Fernandez now, but does well. Myron Fernandez and Sereno. Bringing down Clive Miranda. We'll go back to that situation to see if that was a penalty from Joybert. We'll see this again from close quarters. It's a beautiful turn from Ivan Costa, and then Joybert moving into the box. That was a close one, wasn't it? It was touch and go on that. Sporting Club de Goa might consider themselves lucky on that occasion. And we'll see this again. Then Sereno just catching Clive Miranda very late on his shin, and gets the first yellow card also of the game, Sereno Fernandez. But boy, if you look back at that replay, that was a close shave for Sporting Club de Goa. They will be breathing a sigh of relief there. This is Joel Colasso. Ivan Costa just has a trailing hand which goes into Dattaraj Kauka's chest, who feeds the impact for a few seconds, but he's moving on and the game will continue. This is Girish Naik standing over this free kick for Sporting Club de Goa. Girish Naik's ball in, not a bad one either. Marcus puts it up. Philippa Dogwo concedes the foul on Bryson and doesn't quite understand why that was given a foul. This is Leslie Pereira. Leslie plays it forward. This is Sereno. Not finding Christy Davis. Marcus back helping his defenders as he always does, and this is Rohit Totad on the left hand side for Sporting. Moving forward, Sporting. This is a beautiful ball forward. Philippa Dogwu, an ambitious effort from the Nigerian, and worryingly he is holding his right hamstring. Francisco Waz will not be a happy man to see that from Philippa Dogwu. Wow, that was close from Dylan De Silva. That was really close. Almost gave the ball away to Dattaraj. However, this is Dylan. Rohit winning the flick on, but it ends up with Christy Davis. And Girish conceding the foul. And this is Brian Faria. Ralte going on his marauding runs on the right hand side yet again, brought down this time by Joel Colasso. There you see, just skipping past the challenge and got him late over there, Joel Colasso. You've seen these runs before from Ralte, and we know he could be dangerous. We saw that run from him in the last match against Churchill Brothers, where he ran through right from the back into the penalty box of Churchill Brothers, only for him to pass it off as this free kick comes in and headed on by Sporting Club de Goa for a corner kick. But if he did take on that shot in the previous match, Ralte could have been one of the goals of this year's Selvel Goa Professional League. A mesmerizing run, could have been one of the best individual efforts that you'll see around, but didn't happen as Gautam Dice comes out with the ball. Joybert chasing, trying to stop Gautam, the captain today, who leaves it brilliantly behind for Myron Fernandez. This is Girish Naik, Kunal Kundaikar, and Joel Colasso. We've seen these runs from him also. He's bulldozed his way past in the last match against Selgalkar, where his run was influential in Marcus Mascarenas scoring that opener for Sporting Club de Goa. And this is Ralte, back to Brian Faria. A little too much from Brian. And you can see Degi Cardozo applauding his young boys, encouraging them to play that possession based football. His side have played good football so far today, although Sporting have also come back well after a sluggish start today, and it is still 0-0 here at the Duler Stadium. This is Ralte, back to Brian Faria, being closed down by Dattaraj, who wins the throw-in. Ralte takes it quickly. This is Christy Davis. We've seen Christy taking on the responsibility in the absence of Bryson. and he's retained his spot today in the squad. And Lalrem Ruata is the man who's had to sit out in today's game, as Marcus Mascarenhas brought down by Leslie Pereira. We know that Sporting Club de Goa are dangerous on these set pieces, especially with Marcus Mascarenhas' movement and Philippa Dogbu being the opportunist that he is. Now they are missing the likes of Gaurav Kankonkar and the centre of the midfield. From what we hear, he has got an injury and he's not the best person to miss out in these kind of crucial encounters, because he really is a stabilizer in that midfield region for the Flaming Orange. He's been quite brilliant at the centre of the midfield for Sporting Club de Goa. This is Sereno. FC Goa trying to slow things down a little bit, get back to that possession based game after a spell of Sporting Club de Goa pressure. And this is Leslie. Dylan forced to go long. This is Clive Miranda heading the ball out. As the referee has blown the whistle for the first cooling break of today's match, as the players head to the dugout. It is still 0-0 from the Duler Stadium in what has been an even encounter. No team really opening up each other and testing the goalkeeper as of yet, but as often happens in these crucial big matches, both teams cancelling each other out in the midfield region. Both coaches tactically quite sound so far, not giving each other an inch of space to work with. And we can see Francisco Vaz barking instructions at his players. He knows the importance of this game, doesn't he? And so does Degi Cardozo. FC Goa, having played a game more than Sporting Club de Goa, are in need of a win today to stay afloat in the title race. As the players walk out for the last 14 minutes of this half. Sereno to Bryson. Kunal Kundaiker yet again right there, winning the towering header. We know how good he's in the air, Kunal Kundaiker. This is Ralte's ball forward, but Marcus blocks it, and Ralte lunging into the tackle and losing out that ball to Marcus initially. Ralte lunging into the tackle, and no complaints about that yellow card. And this is where these young boys have to learn to keep their calm. This is where you mature as a player and gain from your experience, as Marcus Mascarenhas blocks that attempted cross and just loses his cool there. Ralte trying to win that ball back immediately. Sometimes you've just got to let it go and run back and defend, but Ralte, choosing the other option, ends up getting the yellow card. He's got to be careful now for the rest of the game. Kunal standing over the ball. This is Clive. Girish. To Kunal. This is Joel Colasso on the overlap. Marcus. The ball comes in. That's a good chance. That's a scramble on the goal line. That's a real fight, but the referee's whistle has gone before the ball went into the net. It'll be interesting to see if the cameraman caught what was that scramble in there was about, as Dylan De Silva is holding his ankle. And what an opportunity. This is where technology comes into play, and we'll see this again as Rohit crosses it. Filippo Dogbu carrying the ball, and in the melee, I'm very surprised that that has been given as a foul, because you'll see this replay again. We'll confirm this again once we see it. I'm not too sure why a foul was given on Dylan De Silva over there in that situation, but not much in there, and Sporting Clube de Goa will probably consider themselves unlucky not to have opened the scoring. Great camera work by the crew to show us those slow motion replays, which shows us exactly what happened in goal mouth action. Quite a scramble that was on the FC Goa goal line, but it probably is a fair call in the end. Law of averages. The law of average coming back to haunt Sporting Clube de Goa, because about a quarter back it probably should have been a penalty on Joybert, and just a few minutes back it probably should have been a goal for Sporting Clube de Goa. The law of averages neutralizing the fact, as this is Filippo Dogbu into the box. Philip controlling the ball, putting it out to Rohit. Rohit's cross in, well dealt with by Ivan Costa. This is Kapil Hoble against Myron Fernandez, who's right up there pressing the FC Goa boys. Now Myron running back to cover his space. This is Girish Naik. Sporting Clube de Goa are well into this match now. This is when the experience counts. Sporting Clube de Goa just taking their time, allowing FC Goa possession in the first 15 minutes, but they have switched up a gear right now. And this is Rohit Totad. Myron Fernandez. Girish Naik's ball in, and that's a beautifully played ball. Looking for the run of Marcus Mascarenhas, who just cannot get on the end of it. But look at this vision and pass from Girish Naik that was swinging away from Marcus Mascarenhas. But great eye from Girish Naik. Is that man Marcus? Filippo Dogbu lifts it from Marcus Mascarenhas, and it's been headed! It's been headed over! What an opportunity once again for Dattaraj Gaonkar. Sporting Clube de Goa are really stepping it up now. They've gone up 2 gears. FC Goa need to step their game up and go up a level, because Sporting Clube de Goa are coming right at them towards the end of this half with 7 minutes to play. It's been all Sporting since that first cooling break, and suddenly the dynamics of this game has changed. FC Goa will look to slow things down. We see more of those long balls coming in from FC Goa, as Joel Colasso not given the foul there again by the referee. This is Wasim Inamdar. Wasim's shot should be easily handled by Myron Fernandez. I beg your pardon, in the excitement I lost the name, but it's Ozan Silva who's the goalkeeper of Sporting Clube de Goa, and he handles the ball, not Myron Fernandez. This is Myron now for Sporting Clube de Goa, almost finding Rohit on the right hand side, who's shifted wings and quite difficult to keep a track of these wing play movements from Sporting Clube de Goa, as they keep changing wings and they're so versatile in any of those front three positions. Sporting playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation today. FC Goa rather playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation today, with Bryson and Christie slotting in that defensive midfielder, box-to-box midfielder positions, and Wasim, Ivan and Kapil Hoble just playing in that attacking three, with Joybot completely up front for FC Goa, whereas Sporting Clube de Goa going with the traditional 4-4-2 with Girishan Gautam and the heart of the midfield, with Rohit and Dattaraj manning the wings, and Philip and Marcus Mascarenhas up front. As we see, Ralte has been taken off and Delton Colasso has been introduced. That's a very, very smart move from Degi Cardozo. Let me tell you why I say that is a smart decision, because Ralte was on a yellow card, and the way this game is going, it could have been dangerous and FC Goa could have got down to 10 men, but Degi Cardozo, as this ball comes in, and what a chance! Sereno Fernandez once again, his run completely untraced at the back as he comes in behind Clive Miranda and Myron Fernandez, and all he had to do was to keep it on target, but he hits the side netting on that occasion. We know what he's capable of, and he probably should have done better in that situation. Sereno Fernandez, what an opportunity to score 2 games in a row from the left back position. But got to give credit to Sereno, getting into positions to attack Ozan Silva's goal. It's not the first time he's been there. This is Ozan's kick, and lifted up, flicked on by Dattaraj, but this is FC Goa back in possession. Delton Colasso for Christy Davis. He's been everywhere, Christy Davis, in this match. This is Bryson. Bryson just falls over the ball and ends up winning the foul. Gautam Dice not happy there. He thinks Bryson should be getting a yellow card because the counter-attack was impeded by Bryson. But it'll be interesting to see how Sporting deal with the space of Delton Colasso In normal circumstances, we would have seen Kunal Kundaiker win that battle, but this is FC Goa coming into the box with Ivan Costa, but very well defended by Joel Colasso. Good tackle in from Joel, but in normal circumstances, like I said, Kunal Kundaiker would have probably got there first, but not with the likes of Delton Colasso, who's a firebolt running down the wings for FC Goa. This is Sereno Fernandez with the corner kick. The ball comes in and the shot comes in from Bryson. It has been sliced wide of the goal by Bryson, but that was another good opportunity to get a shot on target as Odin's ball to Myron, brought down beautifully. Myron gives it away though to Sereno. This is Wasim Inamdar, and Rohit does well. Wins the throw in for Sporting. This is Myron. Takes the throw in, Myron Fernandez. Flicked on by Marcus. Philippa Dog won't chase, but it is played back to Dylan De Silva. Dylan's long ball easily dealt with by Joel Colasso. And you can see Degi Cardozo losing his cool in the technical area as the referee gives that a foul, but you will see why that was given a foul, and not much done wrong by the referee. Kapil Hoble just getting that hand behind Dattaraj before winning that header. The assistant referee has shown 3 minutes of additional time. And the end of this first half, as the ball comes in. It's a beautifully played in ball, but Marcus Mascarenhas just a little behind him. FC Goa doing a good job today of marking Marcus Mascarenhas. He's not been as lethal as we know him to be with his movement, but you know that he can be right there anytime with his movement. He's one of the best out there. Marcus Mascarenhas really always poaching for a goal, always looking for that little bit of opening and space. So intelligent, Marcus Mascarenhas. Philippa Dogwu with the ball, but Bryson had been impeded before that. Brian Faria's ball forward, headed on by Myron. Sereno back to Leslie. We can see Degi, we can hear Degi right here from the studios. He's barking instructions at his players, urging them to keep concentration towards the end of this half. And this is Philippa Dogwu. Rohit Totad, first time cross in. Cleared on by Brian. And Myron plays it back. This is Christy Davis now on the left hand side for FC Goa. Christy Davis has been everywhere, quite a dynamic player. Christy Davis doing ever so well for FC Goa in the absence of Bryson. And the referee will bring this half to an end any time now. Kapil Hoble's throw in will be the last action that we see in this first half, because the referee has brought this first half to an end, and we head back to the dugouts with Sporting Club de Goa and FC Goa tied goalless in this first half, with Degi Cardozo and Francisco Vaz cancelling each other out with their tactics. But you can see how desperate Francisco Savio Vaz is to get a win today. As the referees head back to their rooms, the halftime score from the Duler Stadium, it is FC Goa and Sporting Club de Goa locked goalless. An enthralling second half coming up between FC Goa and Sporting Club de Goa. This could be as crucial a half as any other half of football for both these teams in this year's Selvel Goa Professional League, because both teams will be looking to get over the line, as Francisco Vaz has made a substitute with Dattaraj Gaonkar going off and Sachidhanand Satelkar coming on to increase the potential attack of Sporting Club de Goa. The final press from Sporting Club de Goa before the second half battle starts with FC Goa.
Substitution by Sporting Clube de Goa. Dattaraj Gaonkar, jersey number 29.
And there you see the huddle from FC Goa being led by Dylan Silva. Both teams know the importance of this half. Really, it'll be crucial to see who gets that first goal in this match, or will it finish goalless. It's looking like an intriguing battle on our hands, with Degi Cardozo loosening up just before the second half kicks off, and Francisco Vaz on his feet, a very nervous man. He'll be looking to get back to winning ways, having drawn the last two matches. A third consecutive draw would derail their title aspirations. However, not completely out of it, but it would definitely have Selgaonkar Football Club right in the hot seat to win this year's title. Levino Anthony Pereira will be a happy man at this point of time, seeing this result between FC Goa and Sporting Club de Goa. As this ball has been hooked forward, this is Sereno. Delton and Sereno on the same wing is quite a daunting task for any defender to hold on as the ball comes in, but Kunal Kundaiker right there getting ahead of Wasim Inamdar, clearing the ball. This is Sereno Fernandez. Joybert keeps the ball well, but cleared on by Clive Miranda. This is Philippa Dogwu, beautifully brought down by Philippa Dogwu, wins the foul. That was a beautiful take from Philippa Dogwu, absolutely great to watch. And look at the shielding from Philippa Dogwu, keeping the ball away from Leslie. This is Marcus Mascarenas on the turn. Will he keep it in? He does keep it in, and this is a chance, but Kapil Hoble back there averting the danger. But Myron has been shoved off the ball by Joybert. This is Christy Davis. Sereno. This is Bryson playing it wide to Kapil Hoble on the right hand side, who looked for Wasim Inamdar inside, but not quite finding it there. This is Philippa Dogwu, threads it through for Girish Naik, and Marcus Mascarenas chasing, but Dylan De Silva will get ahead of that. And this is Rohit Totad, headed on by Clive Miranda. Sereno's throw in. This is Brian Faria. Brian's ball forward and looking for Delton Colasso, but Myron Fernandez with the clearance, but he wins the foul as Delton Colasso seemed to be in an offside position. This is Joel Colasso now. On his right foot. Crossfield ball across to Philip Adogbo, who should keep this in. This is Philip. Not finding the run of Sachidanand. This is Kapil Hoble. Kapil's ball forward. Myron Fernandez. This is Christy Davis. Does well but cannot keep his footing against Clive Miranda. Girish Naik. And cleaned out from the back by Leslie Pereira. Marcus Mascarenhas wins the foul. We'll see this again. Girish Naik's ball forward and Marcus Mascarenhas brought down by Leslie. He's been kept in close attention today, Marcus Mascarenhas, because FC Goa and Degi Cardozo know what Marcus Mascarenhas can do with his movement, and he can crop up at any moment. And this is Wasim Inamdar. Kapil Hoble's clearance. This is Bryson. That's a beautiful ball forward for Bryson, but Delton Colasso was in an offside position. Ozan Silva coming forward and clearing. As this ball comes in from Bryson, we wouldn't be able to say from that angle, but looked a little offside on Delton Colasso. And this is Clive. Clive's long ball forward. This is Sachidanand. Sachidanand's ball in, not quite finding that Joel Colasso, as the volley comes in from Gautam Dice, and it has gone out for a goal kick for Dylan De Silva. This is Kapil Hoble. Back to Brian Faria. Playing out from the back again. Dylan De Silva has to clear it quickly with Christy Davis's header falling to Brian Faria. Wasim Inamdar. Dubin's ball forward. This is Delton Colasso, slips it through for Sereno once again forward. Kunal Kundaikar doing well, but Sereno Fernandez had the opportunity to take that shot on, but he decided to take one extra touch as Delton Colasso slips it through for Sereno. This is the moment he should have probably taken that touch, but Kunal Kundaikar ever so alert. However, this is a corner for Bryson. The FC Goa bench looking on as Kapil Hoble's header will go out for a goal kick for Ozan Silva. A second half which has started much like the first, with FC Goa trying to take control of proceedings. Yet we saw Sporting dominate after those first 15 minutes. And Sporting give away another free kick. You can see the experience of Sporting Clube de Goa. They know they're up against a very good FC Goa, young FC Goa side, if I may say. They respect that. They're holding their organization together. As this free kick comes in from Sereno Fernandez, Ozan Silva holds on to that quite brilliantly. But getting back to Sporting Clube de Goa and the experience, but Like I said, Sporting, they very well know how important this clash is for them. As Gautam Dice puts it forward for Marcus Mascarenhas, who has some space down the right hand side. Marcus's ball in, and that's a brilliant one, and Dylan comes forward and collects it. This is Delton Colasso going up against Myron Fernandez, who does well. There'll be a challenge for both Delton and Myron going up against each other. Clive plays it square to Kunal, but look at how well Sporting Club de Goa are managing this FC Goa side, soaking in the pressure from the young FC Goa side and then trying to find an attack of their own. They know that they have the quality to get back into the game, like they did towards the end of that first half. The last 15 minutes was a dominant display towards the end of that first half from Sporting Club de Goa. They'll be looking to continue the half. This is Sachidanand, but Christie easily barges him off the ball and wins the free kick. Christie quite evidently brought down by Sachidanand. This is FC Goa back in possession, being pressed, and has won the ball. Rohit Totad is the man who wins the ball from Leslie Pereira. It's been given for a corner kick. It'll be interesting to see what the referee has given as we see this again. Rohit Totad getting the ball of Leslie, and the referee has given a corner kick. Once again, FC Goa losing the ball dangerously in their box. They will do well to learn from their mistakes, but thankfully for them, Rohit Totad isn't able to get the cross in. This is a corner kick now for Sporting Club de Goa. Myron Fernandez to take this corner like he always does, the set piece specialist for Sporting Club de Goa. The ball comes in, the header, and a foul given by the referee. Philippa Dogbo just holding his position there. This is Sereno. Leslie puts it forward. Dylan. This is dangerous again. Marcus Mascarenhas under pressure from Brian Faria gives it away. This is a battle down the right wing. Myron going head to head with Delton Colasso first. He wins that battle and just can't get past Sereno, but he does win a corner kick in the end again. It was Myron versus Delton and Sereno on that occasion, and Myron wins that battle and wins a corner. This is Girish Naik this time to take this corner kick. Girish's ball in, rising above everyone, Clive Miranda, but Dylan De Silva wins the free kick from Marcus Mascarenhas. Dylan's ball forward. Myron wins the header, and you can see Taki Cardozo, quite an animated man. Always good to see Deggy shouting, and managing these young boys is not an easy job, but he's done a very good job with these young boys. He's had some injury scares and he's pacing up and down that technical area. Always a busy man, and we've mentioned how we've seen Pep Guardiola do this. Not a moments of rest for Pep, always trying to get the best out of his players, trying to get into their head, always trying to read the game and improvise. Pep Guardiola, but a long way to go for Degi Cardozo before being compared to the great man who is the manager of Manchester City. Degi Cardozo, however, is doing a good job with these young boys. This is Marcus Mascarenhas chasing Kabil Hoble. The header from Clive Miranda, and Bryson wins the header. Miscommunication in that Sporting defence has allowed FC Goa in attack, but Kunal Kundaikar covering up beautifully. The ball comes in, and the header this time from Joel Colasso. This is Kapil Hoble. Kapil in the box. He's still going, Kapil Hoble, and just losing his footing there, and it has rolled out for a goal kick. You've got to mention Kapil Hoble. We do not mention him too much, but his work ethics are second to none, really. The versatile midfielder, defender. He's played as a striker when he was needed. He scored those goals. He's played as right back, left back, centre back. Absolutely essential in today's games. This is Ivan Costa. The ball in from Ivan. The header is a looping one. Had Ozan Silva interested in for a while, as we'll see this ball again from Ivan Costa. It was a beautifully floated in ball, and Christie with the header, a looping one. No trouble though for Ozan Silva. Ozan's long ball now. Brian wins the header. This is Joel Colasso. Hooks it up on his right foot. This is Rohit Totad, but there is the pace of Delton Colasso. Myron to take this throw in. Takes it long, but Sereno gets to that, gets a foot to that, and gives away another throw in. This is still in De Silva. Kapil Hoble slotting into that right back position of Ralte, who has been substituted by Degi Cardozo, getting that yellow card early on the game. Delton having shifted wings to the left hand side. Wasim and Amdar playing on Kapil Hoble's side today. Myron will have the opportunity once again to swing in one of his brilliant balls for Marcus and Philip to get on the end of it. Close attention from Kapil Hoble and Brian Faria. The ball comes in, not a great one. Brian comes out and heads that ball. This is Myron again. Clive. Marcus Mascarenhas with the shot, blocked by Brian Philip. A Dogwood's effort and not powerful enough to trouble Dylan De Silva. This is Kunal. Heads it to Sachidanand. Has not been as influential, but can he change it up now for Sporting? This is Sachidanand, and does well against Kapil Hoble. Almost put it out for a Sporting Club corner kick. And we see it again after the opening 10-15 minutes of FC Goa slightly edging Sporting Clube de Goa. Sporting managed to soak in that pressure, and they are right back on top of FC Goa, applying the pressure, hoping to get that goal. This is Myron's ball forward from the corner kick. This is Joybird leaving the ball behind but getting it in the end. This is Sereno trying to race and take the ball in his stride, but Myron has some space down the left hand side, but just missing out on that back flick. Myron Fernandez. This is Kunal. Everyone back for FC Goa. Philippa Dogwu, Gautam Dice. This is Rohit Totad's ball in, and a beautiful tackle in, intercepted by Brian Faria. We'll see this again. Gautam Dice does ever so well against Ivan Costa. Pulls it forward, and Brian does well, sliding in to intercept that ball. A corner to be taken by Girish Naik. Constant pressure from Sporting Clube de Goa as they win another corner from Brian Faria's header. Can they make use of one of these set pieces as Philippa Dogwu shoves his marker and gets a yellow card? Ivan Costa is the man. Philippa Dogwu and Ivan Costa are set to get yellow cards, and they do get yellow cards. Ivan Costa and Philippa Dogwu. They need to keep their calm. Girish Naik's ball in, slightly deep, should be cleared up, and it is cleared up by Leslie Pereira. There has been something which has happened, which is why the referee's whistle had gone. And it is an FC Goa player who was on the ground. As he requires some medical attention. We'll see who has stayed on the ground for FC Goa. And that looks like Sereno Fernandez is on the ground. Just clutching the back of his head. Sereno Fernandez. He is okay after receiving some medical attention. This is Joel Colasso's throw in, but the referee will start it off with a bounce off the ball as per the norms in today's game. This is Kapil Hoble. Bryson to Wasim. Wasim does well. This is Bryson again. Bryson's ball forward for Joybert. Joybert will give that throw away to Joel Colasso, who goes on to the ground now. Joel Colasso seems to be in considerable amount of pain. It's his time to receive some medical attention now. Both teams still locked, goalless, and this could be a huge result for the likes of Selvel Football Club. Both teams losing out on two crucial points. Selvel having beaten FC Goa in the very first match of this year's Selvel Goa Professional League, with Saish Madan converting a late first half penalty and Stephen Satarkar, the hero of this year's league, scoring the second, a deflected effort which went over Dylan De Silva's outstretched hands, and FC Goa lost that match 2-0. This is Austin Silva, and he's gonna take this goal kick. Austin's long ball forward, headed on by Marcus, but Brian with the clearance. This is Wasim Namdar getting it back. This is Joybert now down the right hand side, being shadowed by Kunal, who is right there to stop the attack from Joybert. This is Marcus Mascarenas. Shifts wings, but Rohit will do well to keep that in, and doesn't do so. This is Sereno. Rohit, Marcus, beautiful turn. This is Girish Naik, just a heavy touch, and Marcus Mascarenas couldn't take it in a stride. Brian Faria does well. This is Sereno. Joybert moving on, taking it on his chest beautifully, plays it forward to Christy Davis, but getting back there and defending well for his team. Girish Naik. This is Sachidanand down the left hand side for Sporting Clube de Goa. Send a ball forward for Marcus Mascarenas up against Brian Faria. Marcus moving in. Myron Fernandez. Poor ball in the end from Myron. Rohit Totad was making his run behind Sereno, but not quite understanding his teammates' run. Myron Fernandez gives away a throw-in. This is Marcus. Philippa Dogwood trying to turn away from his marker, not succeeding in that. Kunal gets it in control. This is Myron Fernandez. Delton Colasso and Myron going at it. What a battle that is to watch out for. Intriguing, really. Pace against pace. Austin Silva comes out confidently and collects it. Austin's long ball forward, looking for Marcus Mascarenas. He heads it, but Brian is there on the end of it. Dylan clears it long, and Joel Colasso has given the foul away, to everyone's surprise, but no real complaints, as Joybert is coming off. And guess who's making a comeback? Aaron De Silva, who scored 10 goals in last season's Goa Professional League, is making a comeback after a long time. He went missing after the first two games for FC Goa, but here he is making a comeback. What can he do? Aaron De Silva. We know his aerial presence. He's already scored 2 goals for FC Goa in this year's league. He's not had a great start to the campaign, especially in those first two matches. But here he is. He'll be looking to get into the act straight away. This is Marcus Mascarenhas. He's gone through Marcus Mascarenhas. This is Philippa Dogwu. Danger still not gone. Sachidanand puts the ball. Philippa Dogwu! I beg your pardon, that is Marcus Mascarenhas with a glorious opportunity. He went behind that FC Goa defense. Look at this movement. Sachidanand with an inch perfect ball, and Marcus Mascarenhas really should be doing so much better than that. As Rohit Totad goes off and Akiraj Martins comes on for Rohit. We've seen him normally come in place of Philippa Dogwu, but it's now or never really for Sporting Club de Goa. They know that the importance of this match cannot be stressed upon enough. This is Girish Naik. Will be straight into the safe hands of Dylan De Silva, but again Marcus Mascarenhas. What an opportunity that was. Delton having shifted wings. He's gone past the challenge of Joel Colasso. Crosses it in for Aaron De Silva, but not quite getting on the end of it. We'll see this again. Not having too much favoritism from Myron Fernandez. Delton changing wings, just not finding the head of an orange t-shirt. Has gone out for a throw-in, and with that it is the second and final cooling break. Given by the referee, as Degi Cardozo is an animated coach on the technical area, and Francisco Vaz will be itching for a solitary goal here. And Marcus Mascarenhas, just before this water break, had a golden opportunity to put the flaming orange in front, but failed to take that opportunity. As Joel Colasso gets some much needed medical attention. Proceedings will start with the Sereno Fernandez throw-in for FC Goa. And this half has more or less been like the first half, where FC Goa took control of those first 10-15 minutes of the game, and it has been Sporting Club de Goa after that putting pressure and creating opportunities, trying to suck the breath out of this FC Goa team. But FC Goa have been a threat on the counter-attack, especially with the likes of Delton Colasso on the field. They will always be a threat, and if Sporting Club de Goa, the last thing they would want to do is concede against this FC Goa team. This is Aaron De Silva, Christy Davis, Kunal does well, and a foul goes Sporting's way, as Myron mostly, as Clive Miranda, I beg your pardon, has stayed on that ground, courtesy a Christy Davis high foot. Some more medical attention required for Clive Miranda. He's still writhing in pain now, Clive Miranda. And the clock is ticking for both teams as the stretcher comes in. Not a pretty sight for anyone really. And the stretcher comes out. And Clive Miranda refusing to go off the ground. He would love to continue, as Wasim Namdar has been taken off by Degi Cardozo, and Velroy Fernandez is the man who's come on for FC Goa. Wasim Namdar putting in a decent shift, not having the impact that he normally has on a game, but you wouldn't be surprised with that, because Sporting are a very, very, very organized team. A long ball forward. Sporting down to 10 men at the moment with Clive Miranda off the field. This is Kapil Hobley, Velroy, Ivan Costa. Clive Miranda has come into the box. Sachidanand fails to clear it. This is Kapil. Ivan. Velroy Fernandez. Velroy goes on a run. This is Christy Davis. Christy does well. Shoved off the ball, and this is Clive Miranda now marching forward, and not the right ball from Clive. Leslie quite easily intercepting that. Bryson to Ivan Costa. Ivan's ball forward, and Aaron De Silva is in an offside position. Takes the shot on, to the annoyance of the Sporting players. We'll see this again as the ball is being played just offside there. Aaron De Silva, that was a close one, but marginally offside. Aaron De Silva. This is Ozan Silva to take this free kick. The header from Marcus. Akiraj battling with Sereno Fernandez, going head to head. The tempers and just flaring up a little bit. The referee calling both players over. And that tends to happen in big games, doesn't it? Not too much action in that. A referee straight into it before things could go out of hand. Deals with it well. With 9 minutes left to go, it is still FC Goa and Sporting Clube de Goa in a locked, goalless affair. Clive takes it quickly, plays it square to Kunal. Kunal's ball forward. Kapil will read that run out. Kapil's ball forward, flicked on by Christie. This is Aaron De Silva. Plays it back to Ivan. This is Kapil again. Kapil's ball forward, not quite finding Delton. This is Ozan Silva. Myron Fernandez. Myron against Delton has been a battle to watch out for, both going against each other every single time. This is dangerous, but Dylan De Silva comes out and clears it. Gautam Dice with the flick on. Sereno keeps it in possession for FC Goa. This is Leslie to Sereno. This is Bryson. not finding a teammate. This is Marcus Mascarenhas now. Beautifully played with Akiraj Martins. This is Akiraj just putting the foot in there. Ivan Costa. This is Girish Naik. Sachidanand Satelkar with a poor effort on his weaker foot. Very poor decision making from Sachidanand. This is Dylan De Silva to take the goal kick for FC Goa. The long kick taken. Kunal going up against Aaron De Silva. This is a good ball through. Now this is an opportunity. Sachidanand's ball in. Philip Dogvu leaving it for the on-rushing Akiraj Martins, but just about getting a crucial foot in. And this is Telton. Pulled back by Clive Miranda. We'll see this again. Sachidanand did put in a good ball. Philippa Dogvu leaves it behind, but Leslie Pereira just improvising on the run and gets a crucial interception in. This is Sereno Fernandez being fouled by Gautam Dias this time. You'll see this again. Sereno on a marching run forward, and Gautam Dias does get him down. Don't know what he's arguing with the referee over there for. Sereno will look to play this ball in to the box. Ball comes in. This is Akiraj Martins. Long ball played across the field to Sachidanand, who keeps it in up against Kapil Hoble. Plays it back to Joel Colasso with a poor ball. This is Christy Davis. Velroy Fernandez, but does well again. Kunal Kundaikar. This is Girish Naik. Clive Miranda. Joel will do well to put it in. He does keep it in, and then this is Girish Naik. Sachidanand. Girish. Back to Joel Colasso. On his right foot, headed on by Marcus Mascarenhas, but not finding a teammate. Brian Faria with the clearance. As a substitution is being made, Irfan Yadwa, the under 20 player, coming on for Philippa Dogvu. And let's see what the youngster has in store for us. Irfan Yadwad.
Sporting Clube de Goa.
Francisco just going up to Philip and congratulating the Nigerian on his performance today. 87 minutes on the clock. No one has broken the deadlock yet, rather failed to break the deadlock, with both defenses right on top of the game, with this ball played forward, which Brian Faria should clear it. It's been taken by Irfan on his stride, but loses out. This is Telton. Played forward by Bryson, but easily dealt with by Kunal. This is Ozan Silva. This is exactly the point of time where Myron Fernandez had scored that own goal against Sessa Football Academy, which turns out, or will turn out probably, to be a crucial 2 points lost for Sporting Club de Goa. But only time will tell if Salgakar are able to take advantage of that own goal from Myron Fernandez. But you've got to feel for Sporting Club de Goa and Myron Fernandez, really nothing much he could do about that. Just an unfortunate goal to concede, but very important in the scheme of the title challenges. Bryson's ball forward is a brilliant one to find Sereno. This is Delton cutting back in, takes the shot on, and no trouble for Ozan Silva to scoop it up into his safe hands. And this is Ozan Silva trying to release Marcus Mascarenhas, but well dealt with by FC Goa. This is Gautam Dice. Irfan, not a foul given by the referee. This is Delton Colasso, skips past the first challenge of Clive Miranda, plays it forward. Velroy, this could be dangerous as Aaron De Silva was lurking around, but Ozan Silva comes forward and collects it. This is Sachadanand now. Akiraj Martins almost threading it through for Marcus Mascarenhas. 5 minutes of additional time shown by the assistant referee. We still have 5 minutes in this match for FC Goa and Sporting Club de Goa to break the deadlock. This is Sereno Fernandez down the left hand side for FC Goa. The cross comes in, is a good one, but Ozan Silva quite alert yet again, getting there ahead of Aaron De Silva, as Brian Faria heads it back to Dylan. This is Christy Davis. Now this is Joel Colasso on his right foot. Marcus Mascarenhas brings it down brilliantly, looking for Akiraj Martins. Brian Faria with the tackle in. This is Ivan. Akiraj will fail to keep that in. This is Velroy. Ivan Costa coming forward, putting the ball forward for Aaron De Silva, who's in a battle for pace with Kunal Kundaiker, but Kunal wins that race with Aaron. Puts it out for a throw-in. This is Kapil Hoble now. This is Aaron De Silva getting there ahead of Clive Miranda, but Clive doing just enough in the end. Ozan Silva, Clive, Myron. Myron's ball forward. Irfan gets the ball in control, heads it to Akiraj. This is Myron again. Beautiful ball played in by Myron. This is Sachidanand in the box. Plays it to Marcus. And a penalty has been given by the referee. Drama here at the Duler Stadium as Marcus Mascarenhas has won the penalty for Sporting Club de Goa. How crucial and important this could be in the title race. Sachidanand's ball, and quite evidently a penalty given to Marcus Mascarenhas. What a time this could be for Sporting Club de Goa. But tell you what, Dylan De Silva has saved a penalty before this, and he will look to do the same thing as Clive Miranda comes forward to take this penalty. Dylan De Silva trying to play the mind games. This could be the most crucial penalty in this year's Selvel Goa Professional League. Clive Miranda moving forward, and he saved this. Dylan De Silva! Absolute drama here at the Duler Stadium. You will not believe what we've seen here. Clive Miranda was given the responsibility to slot this penalty kick home past Dylan De Silva, but Dylan putting out an absolutely sensational save onto the left hand side, diving to his left hand side. That's the second time he saved a penalty, and now this is Dalton Colasso on the other end. And this is absolute mayhem right now at the Duler Stadium. You could see the celebrations. Then Clive Miranda had a second opportunity to get that on target, and he failed to do so yet again. But we spoke about that own goal from Myron Fernandez, but I'll tell you what, that's a brilliant opportunity for FC Goa on the other end right now, as the referee gets the game to an end. Both teams sink to the ground. I'm absolutely at a loss for words as to how this game has ended in what looked like to be comfortably heading for a goalless draw. We saw an action-packed last 2 minutes of the game with a penalty going Marcus Mascarenhas' way. The responsibility given to Clive Miranda, but Dylan De Silva rising to the occasion to keep his team in the game. As you see that man walking back to his dugout past a disappointed Sporting Clube de Goa bench. We spoke about Myron Fernandez's own goal, but this goes a long way for Clive Miranda, because he hasn't slotted the spot kick away, which could have been the turning point in this year's title race. At full time from the Duler Stadium, in what was one of the most entertaining goalless draws, it is FC Goa 0, Sporting Clube de Goa 0. Beautiful background scenes from the Duler Stadium as the sun is setting here at the Duler Stadium. Tomorrow's match, we will be back here at the Duler Stadium once again in what could be a relegation battle between Garden Angel Sports Club and Sessa Football Academy.